the last few weeks, we've been exploring the French Riviera. We've been hiking, we've been tasting.
I hope it lives up to how good it looks.
Thank you so much. But today, we're heading to Cannes. And it might just be my favorite place on the French Riviera.
I was expecting it to just be pebbles everywhere, like the rest of France.
We've just docked up the boat.
Ready, Sam?
Go!
And we're off to explore the top 10 things to do in this incredible city. The famous shopping strips, the insane lookout.
This is the view from top of Cannes.
The glitzy cafe promenade, hot beaches, and the most famous film and boat festivals in all of Europe are held right here. So hang around until the end for our top #1 spot to see and why sailing the French Riviera has been our toughest trip to date.
Can I share with everyone what we thought we were going to do?
Nah, no. Kristina.
So first up, early this morning, John and I are going to go and check out Cannes. It's a city that's more than 2,000 years old. Now we've docked up the Jeanneau Yachts 55, the boat we're currently sailing the French Riviera on, at the Antibes Marina, which is about 20 minutes away from Cannes. Staying in Antibes is cheaper for us, it is less chaotic. I will show you Antibes a little later in the episode, you're absolutely gonna love it. But first, let's talk about the train.
I'm so excited to be here.
It is the fastest and most affordable option, and it'll take us right into the heart of the bustling city streets in just 4 stops. We've absolutely loved using the train system along the French Riviera. It has been an absolute breeze for us to navigate, and we've loved bunny hopping our way from cities like Menton, Monte Carlo, Nice and Villefranche. So go back and check out our other episodes if you missed them.
We've just arrived on the train and we've literally just stepped foot down this main strip and I literally can't take the smile off my face. I feel embarrassed because I'm so excited.
We've landed on Rou Hoche. It runs half a kilometre and is packed with restaurants and shops.
This place is artesian chocolate, the little chocolates. Anyway, keep on going, there's too much to see.
So Rue d'Antibes is the most famous shopping street.
How cool is this artwork? Really amazing.
It runs for 1.2 kilometres and it was originally an old Roman road, but it has evolved into a main shopping street in Cannes. I have found a thrift shop.
I might be a little loud.
So we're going to make our way down towards the beach, and this is where all the designer stores line the esplanade. We're on the Croisette Boulevard. It's a famous promenade, and we notice the beautiful palm trees and hundreds of umbrellas that are lined along the beach, and the exquisite grand hotels like the Carlton and the Martinez. We've heard about a designer cafe that we can't miss. It's a recommendation from a friend of ours, so let's go and check out the Amani Caffe.
Ordinarily, we wouldn't come to a place like this, but we actually... Oh, sorry, go for it.
John actually got a reference from one of his mates who visits this coastline quite frequently, and so we decided to come in for a little coffee, and to be honest, I was actually surprised by the prices. Speaking of which, here we go. Thank you, merci. Oh my gosh, this is so great. So we have the caramel iced coffee. John got a Americano coffee with a side of milk, a croissant and a chocolate croissant. And it even comes with like a little chocolate and a biscuit. I don't know about you, John, but I was actually surprised by the prices. I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive, but coffee was about €3.50, €4, which is normal for this region. Mine was about €7 or so, which was a little bit more exy, but...
You got a specialty coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the front of like Amani, so anyway. Cheers. With this view of the beachfront, we've actually noticed that large sections of the beach are closed off.
There's all the beach clubs.
Just behind us are all the beach clubs lining the sand.
Must be like 15 of them along there.
I'm sure they're not cheap. We were looking at one of them and it was €100 as an average to get into one of those beach clubs, right? These are all the plebs. Like us.
Now, if we wanted to hire a bed at the Carlton, it's €250 for the day, but come October, it goes down to €100 a day.
Oh, also, another fun fact, this is where the Cannes Film Festival is and also the Cannes Boat Show. So there are 2 marinas, one over to the left of us over there and then also one to the right.
And it's the one on the right where you can see all those buildings is where most of the action is. Palais de Festival is home to the Cannes Film Festival.
Obviously this is the red carpet, this is where all the celebrities line up. And it looks like a lot of the tourists are lining up too because they're about to take their photo.
Like Hollywood, it has a row of handprints from famous stars.
I haven't seen any that I know just yet. That's not saying much, but apparently Angelina Jolie's found here. I know her. Tomb Raider.
Look how small mine are compared to his.
Right next to the red carpet is the casino, the La Croisette Casino Barrière, and the marina.
There's John. Let's just have a look how big this marina is. It's absolutely massive.
We'll take you behind the scenes to the most famous boat festival shortly, but for now, we want to get a good view of the city. So we're going to walk through the old town and up to the lookout.
It is ridiculously hot, but we have decided to walk up hundreds of stairs to get to the very top of this lookout. So I hope it's worth it. It's very green and lush up here. It looks quite medieval, doesn't it, John?
There's a church up here, I think.
Rou Hoche, aka the Old Town, has an incredible view of the city. It's a bit of a killer to do it in the peak of summer, and it takes us about 20 minutes to hike to the very top.
I am dying.
But we're taking plenty of little stops along the way.
Wow. Lovely. So here we are at the very top. This is the view from top of Cannes. We have the yacht club down here. This is the main town. Oh, this is the old town up around here.
All the beach clubs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you probably can't see, but in the very, very distance there is a little bit. What do you think of this place?
Interesting. Lots of mega yachts, super yachts.
The marina right below us is one of the oldest harbours on the French Riviera, and it accommodates yachts up to 145 metres. It's also where part of the Cannes Boat and Yachting Festivals are held in September, and it's one of the largest in Europe and allows you to get up close to some of the most luxurious boats and stunning super yachts in the world.
Can I stay, John?
Yeah.
So we're talking vessels with helipads, submarines, cinemas and swimming pools. Now, if you're a boating fanatic like us, you'll find that one day just isn't enough. Now, we have a couple more places to show you that make it into our top 2, but first we're grabbing a quick, easy and healthy lunch.
Is this French sushi?
When in Cannes, get a sushi bowl.
You were craving this, weren't you? And aircon and resting of the feet and water.
So it's lunchtime. We've just quickly gone to the supermarket to a Carrefour's. We stocked up on some orange juice and some like coconut pieces. Found ourselves in a supermarket and some tabbouleh. These are some of the prices you can expect. It's actually pretty affordable, and a toothbrush. That's why we got this.
Because every time I use mine to clean the paddle, you throw it out.
Which brings us to number 2. But quickly, if you're wondering, the paddle wheel is located under our boat and measures our speed through the water. So to do so, the wheel needs to spin freely, so we clean it regularly. Now, John's doing this off the Lerins Islands, which are just 15 minutes from Cannes.
John has returned.
For the toothbrush.
We explored St Marguerite and St Honorat in our last episode, so I won't go into too much detail about them here today, but in between these two islands there's an underwater eco museum that you can go and explore, and there's also a floating pizza bar too. If you missed that episode and you want to see how we spent our day here, I'll leave a link in the description. But one thing that you simply must do if you visit Cannes is take a day trip over to Antibes. I know it's not right in Cannes, but it's just that 20-minute train journey away, and it's where our boat is tied up. Now, the marina is wedged between this gorgeous town, a medieval castle, and beautiful sandy beaches. Holidaying here in summer is pretty unreal. Most of the time, the beaches are protected and packed. Antibes itself is such a beautiful city with shops and cafes and bakeries and markets. John and I are going to take you into town for an amazing dinner in just a sec, but I quickly just want to chat to you about the unpredictable weather in Cannes and also the entire French Riviera. For us, it's been 50-50. It's been surprisingly windy along the French Riviera. Summer storms brew and they can pack a punch.
So if you're new here, John and I are doing a circumnavigation of the Western Med. We started back in Spain, then we went to Corsica and Italy. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely stunning. And now we're just bunny hopping our way along the French Riviera from east to west.
We were warned about the strong winds along this coastline, but you have to see it to believe it. By the afternoon,
I'd rather be in the marina so that we can go sightseeing lots.
So before we take you to dinner and show you around Antibes, I just want to quickly chat to you about our genuine thoughts of what it was like sailing this coast.
We've got a really big storm that's about to hit us. Check out the storm cloud. This is why we're in the marina. We're having some really crazy weather at the moment. The clouds are enormous. The summer ones, the summer storms are particularly bad because they have a lot of energy in them. The heat builds up throughout the day and then it just absolutely smashes us. All the boats are coming back in. You can see them all behind us. They're calling it a day. They know what's coming.
Where we are on the map, it's showing 0 knots, basically, like a couple of knots. And about 2 miles that way, it's showing 40 knots, so at times. So you just don't know how accurate the forecast is and whether you're going to be impacted by those winds or not. To contend with is the Mistral.
Everyone's heard us talk about the Mistral.
Shall I read this, Mistral?
No.
It is a strong, cold, northwesterly wind that blows from the south of France into the Gulf of Lyon, sometimes reaching 100 knots. The problem with it is it seems to be, and maybe if you were familiar with sailing in this area, you would have this down pat and you would know what to expect. We just don't know what to expect, and we haven't been able to chat to anyone from this region to get a heads up. Short sail to Antibes. There's an east coastline there. So we're just doing the best we can with our limited experience in this region, but I've got to say, so far we've not come unstuck. We've worked it out pretty well and everything's been fine.
And as we prepare to show you Antibes, which is truly gorgeous, I just wanted to show you our sail in. Ready? Living on board while sailing this part of Europe in our 30s is pretty wild. We are entering the channel and I'm just trying to get on this radio. Alright, here we go. To think that we only learned how to sail 3 years ago blows my mind sometimes.
Holy crap!
Turning now.
2-5.
I'm so proud of John and I for making it this far in our journey and unscathed. But with a few close calls in our time, we're very much aware of how quickly things can change.
So the wind is coming from this way, so that line.
But I guess it's in those close calls, those hairy moments that make us the people and the amateur sailors that we are today. Plus, I guess they make this adventure exciting while bringing us closer together. All right, let's go grab some dinner.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Now let's get the bow lines tight and I'll reverse back on them.
So this is Port Vauban and it's right in the heart of the action.
Does it have a chain?
It's a relatively short walk into town, about half an hour on foot, and along the way we can admire the floating real estate. What do you like about this?
That you've got rear winches. This turn line.
Antibes is a lot more relaxed than some of the other biggest cities along the French Riviera, but it can still get pretty busy during the day. We've been told about a little restaurant in town that we must go to for dinner.
Oh my gosh. They got the octopus. Yours looks so good.
I get jealous.
I am jealous. Do you reckon?
The tentacles and that.
Oh my god, I feel bad.
Straight out of the Netflix.
No. Can I just say, we've had the best pizza in France.
This came from a recommendation from the port staff.
Beautiful.
One little travel tip we've learned, which is pretty obvious really when you think about it, but we always ask a local for the food recommendations, like what's your favourite restaurant, where do you like to eat, where do you go with your friends? And always it's like, it's good, huh?
Yeah, really good.
Over dinner, John and I chat about our future plans, our travels further west along the French Riviera, as we prepare to make our way towards St Tropez. Can you just explain to people quickly what it's going to be like for us heading back and taking the boat back, because the winds are just going to be on the nose and they're going to be blowing really hard.
We've been in the marina more than we would have liked, but to go back, to answer your question, we've got 5 days of the 30 to 40 knot winds in a row, so the sea state might be a bit messy. And then it dies off for like a day and then it's back on. So we're going to try and slip through between the two big blows. Problem is when you go on the back of the weather like that, you end up with a messy sea state.
Peking. I was just going to say that because we're hugging the coast, we're going like southwest, we're going to have the wind on the nose and that's going to be uncomfortable, right?
Well, yeah, as we go around the coast south of Cannes to Marseille, that area is going to be very exposed, but there are a lot of coves and bays. Maybe we should duck in there and then position ourselves well for when the wind is favourable for us to cross.
Our last crossing to the finish line before our next adventure. Coming up next, join us for our epic sail to St Tropez. This is crazy. There's a few surprises ahead of our last destination as part of our epic circumnavigation.